everyone, and welcome to another episode of PrimeNews Podcast. I'm your host, Fifel, and in today's special occasion, we have a truly inspiring guest joining us today. A POS Alumni, a PrimeOne School alumni from the batch 2011-2012, who has taken the leap of entrepreneurship. Let's all welcome Wenny.
Thank you very much everyone for the warm welcome. Okay, so I'm really excited to be here. It's been very different. PrimeOne back then we were in the old building. What building do you call it?
The North POS.
Yeah. And I can see that it has grown into more facilities than we had before. And it's a really amazing growth that you guys had here. Yes.
Now there are many more facilities like Setia. Did you have any Setia back then during?
No. We didn't have that back then. Like I said, like the programs, I feel like the programs, there has been some changes in the programs itself, and also the facilities. I didn't believe that there weren't any greenhouse or mini zoo back then. Correct?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, PrimeOne School has expanded so much since your batch, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that you own a company right now, right?
Yes.
And it's called Expand East.
Okay. Yes.
What does that actually do?
Well, actually, I own 4 companies, 2 companies in Malaysia, 1 in Germany, and also 1 in Indonesia. So Expand East, we are a digital marketing agency that's B2B focused. We are basically a startup. It started 2 years ago, and we are very much focused. We normally cherry picked our clients. We do not simply work with anyone. We only work with those in the SaaS industry, which is SaaS is software as a service industry. Those in health tech, fintech, edutech, those are our types of clients for our portfolio. So that's about it so far.
So there are
brief.
A lot of various of types of range. That's really cool. But I would really like to know, I'm really interested, how did you inspire yourself to start your own company? What's behind your company?
Okay, actually, it's very long story. So first of all, I came from a very humble background, right? So in 2012, I went to KL to pursue my bachelor's degree under a distinction scholarship, which my parents were low-key not excited about. How do I know that they were not excited? They gave me too much barriers of like in business you have barriers of entry, but my parents gave me barriers to study overseas, So long story short, I fulfilled all my parents' T&Cs, and of course with the help and push of the school last time as well. The school and teachers played a great role, and they were very supportive. So I managed to jump past my parents' barriers and studied overseas. That was the first background. So I started my career while I was still doing my bachelor in Malaysia, occasionally part-timing, and during my last year of study, I was doing an internship in a company with a B2B base. B2B means business to business. So I've managed to outperform and climb the corporate ladder, with one of my achievements being securing a government tender worth $1 million, which is equivalent to I think 16 billion. So I started earning shares in that Malaysian company, which is in glove manufacturing and export. So after that, I started my Master of Entrepreneurship, and with that, I also started my first company in Malaysia, which is inclined to supplement production, distribution, and export. Okay, so during doing all those, I felt something was missing. I was thinking, why am I here to develop other people's countries, all while not having the same rights as the locals there?
Right.
Okay, because there's a difference in terms of what expat rights, what we have, and versus the locals. So I thought, why can't I grow in my own country and contribute to the growth of the country and the society here, my society? So in 2022, I started my first company in Indonesia, Expand East. And therefore, if you ask me what inspired me to start my own company, I would say patriotism and the drive to improve the society of my origin. And of course, my husband played a very important role. He's a serial entrepreneur who's quite inspirational as well. So that's a bit of a story on how, what drives me to start my own company at that time.
Well, it looks like starting your own company, it must be such a hassle. Were there like any kinds of challenges that you have to face during those times?
Of course. Like one of the biggest challenge is definitely lack of sleep. Time, financial management, and also learning leadership skills. Lack of sleep because we constantly need to strive.
Right.
We need to learn, keep up with the newest trend, the newest legal regulation. As someone who owns a company, you always need to have an idea of every single element in the business itself. Not to mention if you own 4 companies at the same time. So
Right.
it's like you take the challenge, multiply it by 4. So I overcome them by learning a few things. Number one is to be more organized, arranging my days and weeks with tools, plenty of tools online these days to help you organize your days. The second is to know how to list and rank your priorities, like the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. So you do the 20% that would generate the 80% impact. And also the third one is to delegate my workload by leveraging it to the team. And also the last one is investing in tools or apps that would help with productivity. So we're very tool and app driven here.
So it's like really packed if you own a business, but is there any fun times where you feel like owning a business is such a great thing for me? Like it's an achievement. What do you think about it?
I would definitely say owning a business is amazing in terms of every single time you will always discover something new. There is always this sort of feeling of achievement when you figure out new challenges and you manage to overcome them and override these challenges. And the second one is, of course, knowing, because right now I do have a few people that's working in my company. A lot of our team are Gen Zs and probably millennials from Medan. And I can see that my company has made such big impact for them. Everybody loves it. The energy that they bring to the team and also the collaboration, and they are always you can check our website page,
Yes,
the career
I actually
page.
did.
Everybody is so happy about working in Expand East because we don't have the old style of management. We have a very good work-life balance, and I can say we are one of the top company in Medan that you can work with in terms of you always get to learn new skills, new tech, because everything now is about AI and Internet of Things. We do implement it within our company, so people do learn a lot of new things. And not to mention, we're very multicultural. We have like French intern in our company. We have American intern in our company, so people really do also get a chance to practice English. I mean, for people here, of course, it's a very interesting place to work, basically.
So it's really global as well.
Yeah.
How are the selection process though? How do you actually pick those companies that you would like to work with?
You mean the companies as in our clients?
Yes.
Yep, definitely. First of all, we will see what industry are they in? Do they fulfill the industry? Are they in the industry that we're looking for? Number 2 definitely is to look at their annual revenue. When you want to pick a company to work with, you must know, are they able to pay or no? As simple as that. Because every single contract that we have is at least is about 150 million. Every single contract. And we've worked with many companies in like one of our client is a gold wallet from Portugal.
Wow.
Yes, and they have a subscription for 6 months, and they are very satisfied because they wanted to expand their business to Indonesia at that moment, and they have seen a very significant growth in terms of engagement of their users and everything. So that's basically the process, the main process of selecting who to work with.
Wow, then your company surely is such a big impact to your clients. That is really amazing because it's such a hard thing to handle actually. So when you first became a business owner, are you surprised with the challenges that you're facing? Were you actually surprised?
Yeah, it's very surprising to being a business owner in Indonesia. Besides the fact that Indonesia bureaucracy is a turn off for many corporations, I'm sure a lot of people here believe. But also it will be the human resource itself. I'm talking about looking at the majority. Indonesians are not like Europeans. I mean, I've worked with Europeans before, so I know how they work. Europeans are more independent and they have a strong sense of critical thinking. Indonesian is not like them. They just rely too much on others. Say, if I give the same task to a German and another one to Indonesian, the German will try to figure it out, do their own study and finish it in no time. Okay, but while Indonesians, you need to take them by their hand, give them a step-by-step direction. They don't try to figure it out themselves. They just follow. They just follow the instructions that's given. So I think sometimes it's the problem with the education system in Indonesia that it requires memorizing things without understanding what, why, or how things happen, or applying examples to display that they understood a particular aspect. This normally should reflect their understanding. One more thing is that most of them don't read. So these things in the human resource did surprise me a lot. And I'm speaking from experience as I've received lots of Indonesian applicants, and these are the commonalities. They could have fantastic academic results, but they lack critical thinking.
Right.
Which is the more reason why I would like to improve the human resource here by offering internship programs to bright young individuals to jumpstart their career with AI and tech-driven skill set.
So that is actually something I want to ask. So I'm really curious and interested in joining and pursuing my dream as an entrepreneurship as an entrepreneur. And I bet there are a lot of kids, prime schoolers out there who really wants to do the same thing. So do you have any advices to give out there?
Okay, I think that there's only 3 pieces of advice I would give, which is the first one is to invest in yourself. This is very crucial, and I don't mean investing into your fashion items or skincare or any sort of material thing out there, but invest in your own growth. I think that's very important. Equip yourself enough with knowledge, and starting your own company is not like a walk in the park. There are many elements, and you need to have at least a bit of knowledge in every single aspect of owning a company, whether it's accounting, finance, tax, HR, marketing, sales, whatever it is. These are just the micro environment. You also need to know the macro environment, which is the current economic climate, what's the trend like, what's the business scene, and etc. So, and the second advice I would like to give is never rush into starting your own company.
Right.
Work first, and don't work for MNCs or big companies. Work with startups, because not only that, whatever impact that you've made within the company is directly felt, and this normally increases your confidence, but you also learn a little bit of everything, and you're much closer to the top management. There's no high bureaucracy gap, allowing you to learn a little bit more on how to lead a company, own a company, what do I need to know. And the third advice is to always assess the macro environment. Look for an industry. If you want to start your own company, look for an industry with good future prospect. Or let's say the one that is surviving right now. Do not go for traditional business models. It's going to be obsolete soon. Like you can go for like SaaS, like software as a startup kind of company. That will be great. So those are my 3 advice.
Right. So like before you've managed to manage your own company and handle your own company, create your own company, after you graduated, what did you do to manage those kind of things?
What do you mean? Like how do I manage?
Yes. How do you create your own companies after you've graduated from school? Like what kind of steps do you inquire to do those kind of things?
Oh, definitely. Like what I said, I start working first. I start interning for a startup with a B2B base. So I already have a good understanding of how business to business work, the whole sales cycle and everything else that I need to know. So, and after that, alongside with that, I developed very high interest in this kind of environment, and when I did my Master of Entrepreneurship, I really did get more grasp of what it's needed to have a business. And along with that, I do not just learn master of entrepreneurship. I practice what I'm learning. So that's very important. That was the step that I actually take. And of course, a lot of research, a lot of reading data, analyzing data. So those are one of the steps that I took to actually start a business.
So you've definitely had a lot of experiences before, so you could actually be prepared to start your own company. That is really amazing and fascinating, actually.
Thank you.
But now I'm really curious, during your days in POS, in PrimeOne school, were there any unforgettable moments? Because I bet the days now and before, when you've entered your first high school and everything, how is it? It's probably different now.
Okay, so the thing is, I only spent 3 years in PrimeOne. I only spent my senior year here, my senior high year here, and the rest, like elementary and junior high, I spent it in another school, which I hope that I had started here earlier, because I think that of course the first day that I arrived in this school, I was thinking, everything is so different. Their uniform is not standard, and their classes, there's so little people in class. Everything that I used to have in my normal school and in the previous school that I was actually in, it was just different. But I realized after some time that PrimeOne school play one of the biggest contributing impact is like studying in here. So I spent my senior high years, and because I spent the elementary and junior high, so I am able to make a comparison. Senior high year is a critical year for character building, and PrimeOne was a great incubator of that. There are many things that we've experienced in the school that we might initially thought were weird. Like me, I thought it was weird, but it really helped to build our character, especially as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur needs to have confidence and charisma. And the school did give us a chance to explore our potential by having these monthly performances or emceeing or any other activities that require us to face our fear of being in public, to instill that confidence, that charisma at a young age. While other school that time, they didn't have this sort of activities. So the second thing is that I always remember is in primary school, teachers here, they used to tell us MYL, mind your language.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely very funny at the time, considering our mother tongue is not English.
Yes.
It's probably our third language, but I understood why it was important. As an entrepreneur who engages in international business, export, and dealing with high net worth individuals from different parts of the continent, definitely the ability to converse and understand English, which is a global language now, is crucial. Language itself is the foundation of building rapport or relationship. So it's
like communication.
Exactly, it's so important. And there was also another thing is there's also this program to elevate or incorporate students' entrepreneurial skills. If I was not mistaken, back then every single class had their turn to run a micro business.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
A small canteen. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still going on now. Yeah. Okay. It was a very interesting experience. Some of the parents at that time, and maybe they did not say it to the school, but I'm sure they might have thought, this is crazy. What kind of activities are they doing? But looking back, I think it was a great experience to have, to build the spirit of teamwork. And because running a company means, the word company means like a group of people. And you need to be able to work together in a team, to be a people person, to be a team player, to make something successful. So I thought like those are the things that's quite memorable for me at those times.
Yes, definitely. Because now I felt like there are a lot of things that has changed before during your batch and my batch now. But at the same time, it's really fun. And now that you mentioned that it is a very inspiring thing for us to do the business things and anything else in the future, it is really such a great quality now that I can oversee that now. And I can know that this kinds of activities is actually a good thing for me in the future. Thank you very much for saying that.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wenny, this has been such an inspiring conversation. Thank you very much for joining PrimeNews Podcast and sharing your journey with our Prime people. So Prime people, being an entrepreneur is a marathon, not a sprint. So if you have a dream, chase it with everything you've got, because the world needs your creative innovations. Once again, I am Fifel. Until next time, bye-bye!